class. This is Mr. Castillo. In today's video, we are going to discuss Unit 4, Lesson 16, Rounding Numbers. So, how do we round numbers? So we can round numbers to the nearest 100,000, to the nearest 10,000, to the nearest 1,000, or to the nearest 100. So this is what we're going to do for this exercise. So let's start with this number, 53,487. So what we're really saying here is this number closer to, well, let's think about the two multiples of 100,000 that this number is between. So this number is between 0, okay. This number is between 0 and 100,000. So is this number closer to 0 or closer to 100,000? Well, I know that the middle between these two numbers will be 50,000. So, do I have more than 50,000? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Therefore, I'm going to round up to 100,000. So over here we put to the nearest 100,000, this number will be 100,000. All right, so what if now we round this number to the nearest 10,000th place? So you go to the 10,000th place. Over here you have the 5. This is the 10,000th place. So the value of this 5 is 50,000. That's the value of the 5, 50,000. And the next multiple of 10,000 will be 60,000. So this number is between these two multiples of 10,000. It's between 50,000 and 60,000. But which one is it closest to? Because that's what rounding numbers means. When you round to the nearest 10,000, so you're looking for a number that approximates the nearest multiple of 10,000. So you go to the 10,000th place over here, and you're going to see, is this number closer to 50,000 or 60,000? So here you have the middle between 50,000 and 60,000 is 55,000. That's the middle. So this is going to be our reference point to know whether we're going to round up to 60,000 or round down to 50,000. Well, I know that 53,000 is less than 55,000. Therefore, this number rounds down to 50,000. So all right, now let's try to the thousandth place. Okay. So there is a rule that we can follow for rounding numbers, and I'm going to show you right now. So the rule is, in general, is that you go to the digit that you need to round. So go to the thousandth place. Over here, you need to round to the nearest thousand. So you go to the thousandth place, which is this 3 over here. So the value of this 3 is, well, it's 3,000. So I want to know if this number is between this number is between 53,000 and 54,000. So is this closer to 53,000 or 54,000? One very quick way to know if I round down or round up is to look at the digit to the right of the number that you're trying to round to. of the digit that you're trying to round to. So look to the next digit to the right. So here you see a 4. You know that in base 10 numbers, which is our number system, 5 is always the middle. Because between 1 and 10, 5 is the middle. So, um, anytime you see the digit to the right that is 5 or more, so if it's more than 5, so it's equal, also equal to 5. So if it's 5 or more, we're rounding up. Okay, we are rounding up. If we see anything less than 5, so we see, you know, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, all of these digits are less than 5, we're rounding down. So you go to the thousands place. Over here. Okay, you go to the thousands place. The 4. I'm sorry. It's really late at night. All right. The 3. The 3 is the thousands place. So we look to the digit to the right over here. We look at this 4 and it's less than 5. So that means we're rounding down and this is going to stay at 53,000. And all of these are going to turn to zeros. So this number rounded to the nearest thousand place is going to be 53,000. It didn't go up to 54,000 because it's less than half. This number rounded to the nearest hundred, you go to the hundreds place, you have 400. So I want to know, is this closer to 53,400 or 53,500? Well, look to the digit to the right here. You see an 8. It's more than 5, so we're going to round up. So this number rounded to the nearest hundred place, to the nearest hundred, is going to be 53,500. So it should be 53. Oops. All right, 53,500. Okay, let's do another one. Let's do this number. Let's do this one. 370,130. So we're gonna round this to the nearest 100,000. We're gonna go to the 100,000 place. This 3 right here. So is this number closest to 300,000 or 400,000? Because this number is between those two numbers, right? It's between 300,000 and 400,000. But now I want to know, when I round it to the nearest multiple of 100,000, is it closest to 400,000 or 300,000? Well, to know that is very simple. Look at the digit next door, which is the 7. So this 7 tells me that I have more than half. So I'm going to round up to 400,000. All right. Now to the nearest 10,000, what we do is that we look at the 10,000th place over here. The 10,000th place is the 7. So is this number closer to 370,000 or is it closer to 380,000? Well, you look next door to the right. I'm going to look over here and I see a 0 there. So we're not going to run up. We're going to run down to 370,000. So this number is closest to 370,000. Now we're gonna round this number to the nearest thousands place. So what we're gonna do is that we're going to look for the thousands place. The thousands place in this number is a zero. I have 0 thousands over here. So I look to the right and I only see one 100. So this tells me that this number is closest to 370,000. So this number is between 370,000 and 380,000. Which one is it closest to? It's closest to, you guessed it, 370,000. So 370,000. All right, and so now we're gonna round this number to the nearest hundred. So you go to the hundreds place. That's 100. So 370,100. So it's 130. Is that closest to 100 or 200? Well, you look to the digit next door. You see a 3. It's not a 5. So you're not going to run up. You're going to run down. So when we round this number up to the nearest 100, it's going to be 370,100. Okay. Let's do, let me see which one now. Let's do this one. Let's do this one. 985,411. And let's do it the really fast way. Okay? By looking at the digit next door to the digit that you're considering. So nearest 100,000th place. So you see, you go, this is the 100,000th place. You see the 8 here, that this 8 is more than 5. So this number is going to run up to the next multiple of 100,000. Because over here, so far with the 9 here, you have 900,000. 100,000 more up would be a million. So this runs up to a million. So nearest 10,000. You go to the 10,000th place now. So now you're going to go to the 10,000th place, this 8. So you look to your right. You see a 5. Oh, that means it's at least half. So I'm going to run up. So is this number closer to 980,000 or 990,000? So this number is closest to 990,000. So now I'm going to round it to the nearest thousands place. So you go to the thousands place, you see a 5. There. So that means I have over here 985,000. So this number is between 985,000 and 986,000. So I want to know what is it closest to. Is it closest to 985,000 or 986,000? So I go to the digit next door, which is the hundreds place in this case. I see a 4. Well, this is less than half. It's less than 5. Therefore, I'm going to round down to 985,000. As opposed to 986,000. So now to the nearest hundreds place. Okay. To the nearest hundredths place, you look at the 4 here. That's the hundredths place. And next door, you have a 1. So it's not a 5, so you're not going to round up. So that means that this number here will be 400. So this number rounded to the nearest hundred is going to be 985,400. Okay, class, I hope that you were able to understand. Let me just show you something here. Okay, let's do this last exercise. And this was from the cool down. So we're gonna round this number 569,003 to the nearest 100,000, to the nearest 10,000, and to the nearest 1,000. So to round it to the nearest 100,000, we're gonna go to the 100,000th place. We're gonna go to the 5. The value of this 5 is 500,000. So I want to know if this number is it closer to 500,000 or it's it closest to 600,000. So what is halfway between 500 and 600? Well, 550,000. And here I have 569, which is in this area here. So we're gonna round up to 600,000. So this number rounded to the nearest 100,000 is gonna be 600,000. Okay, this is a 6. And again, this is the way to visually see it and to think about it logically. But if you want to think about it as a process of just knowing how to do this, you go to the place value, right? Nearest, round to the nearest 100,000. So you go to the 100,000th place. And you look to your right. If you see that this number is 5 or more, you round up. Because if it's 5 or more, then it's more than half, because half is always going to have a 5. And if it's 4 or less, then you round down. And you put, for example, so you're up to here. So you round up. This increases by 1, and everything else becomes a 0. So that's how we have 600,000 here. Okay, now let's round to the nearest 10,000. So for that, you're going to go to the 10,000th place. So make sure that you understand your place values, okay? Your place value position. So go to the nearest 10,000th place. You see us, there's a 6 here. So the value of this 6 is 560,000. 560,000. So I want to know if this number is greater than, is it closer to 570,000 or 560,000? Well, it's 69 here. You see the 9 next door over here, and this is bigger than 5. So this is definitely rounding up. So this number rounded to the nearest 10,000 is going to be 570,000. All right. So we did to the 100,000th place, we did to the 10,000th place. Now let's do to the 1,000th place. So again, you go to your 1,000th place. You go to your 1,000th place, which is this 9, and you look next door. Oh, you see a 0 there. This tells me that I'm going to round down. So this rounded to the nearest 1,000 is just going to be $569,000. Okay, class, I hope that you were able to learn from this video. We will continue talking about this. Just remember your place values.